like to call this meeting to order, please. Roll, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Here.
Caledonia.
Here.
Canisius.
Here.
Geneseo.
Here.
Groveland.
Here.
Lester.
Here.
Lima.
Here.
Livonia.
Here.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Here.
Nunde.
Here.
Ashen.
Here.
Portage.
Here.
Sparta.
Here.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Here.
York.
I'd like to ask Board Supervisor Ivan Davis to please lead us in
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the meeting minutes of our last regular meeting, the 26th of January. Does anyone have any suggested changes they'd like to bring forward at this time? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion in a second, please.
Second, Lester.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, that's carried. We do have a public hearing this afternoon. I'd like to ask Maureen Wheeler to please introduce the hearing topic.
Thank you, Chairman. Today's public hearing is in regard to the county's Community Development Block Grant contract with the New York State Office of Community Renewal. This is for the Strange Design Brewing Company project located in Geneseo, New York. This is a follow-up hearing. It's required by policy by OCR that once a project is complete, we hold a hearing to report project accomplishments. So this project really began in early 2017 when Tom and Christy Streamer were named winners of the county's Brew in Livingston competition. Having identified the long vacant former county poorhouse as the future location of Geneseo's first brewery, we knew that the road ahead would be long. Our office immediately started working to identify funding sources to renovate the building, as well as working with local code officials to allow this adaptive reuse. After securing a Restore New York grant for the building's restoration, we began to package financing for the business. The county was awarded this CDBG grant of $100,000 in July of 2019. Grant proceeds of $84,000 have been passed to Strange Design Brewing Company as a partial reimbursement for machinery and equipment purchased for the brew house and the kitchen. By policy, CDBG funds are limited in amount to no more than 40% of an overall investment. And in this case, the grant funding did not exceed 30% of the total project. After 5 long years of hard work, the restaurant and the brewery opened for business this past September. They have since added Sunday brunch and a variety of special events, including live music, food and beer pairings, and yoga classes. They are now open 42 hours a week, and they have created 13 new positions. All grant requirements have been satisfied by the company at this time, and Livingston County has gained another historically restored building and a community gathering space. Happy to answer any questions on the grant contract to the project.
Thank you, Maureen. With this public hearing being open, I'd ask if there's any members of the public wishing to come forward to the podium and talk about this community development block grant. Is there any supervisors wishing to comment at this time? Thank you. We'll keep the public hearing open to the remainder of the meeting. Communication, please, Michelle.
Letters from Senator Borrello acknowledging receipt of resolution number 2022-4, 2022-5, and 2022-40.
Thank you. We do have one abstract of claims for consideration this afternoon.
Mr. Knapp, approving abstract of claims 2A, February 9th, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, I move this abstract of claims and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Does anyone have any questions or concerns on this abstract of claims? Hearing none, other roll, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris, North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1786, absent 229, adopted.
We also have privileges of the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I ask privilege of the floor for Jennifer Rodriguez, the Public Health Director, and Jill Burley, Director of Patient Services.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the Board of Supervisors for privileges of the floor today. Today, myself and Jill Burley, our Director of Patient Services, would like to share with you some exciting accolades that our hospice program and our hospice team has received. In order to do that, we would like to provide you a quick summary of our hospice program and its services. Livingston County Hospice has had the honor and privilege of providing hospice care to our community residents since 1993. Care is provided at home, assisted living centers, skilled nursing facilities, Teresa House, group homes, and even short-term hospital stays at Noyes Hospital. The hospice program is a 24/7 operation for families in need. Hospice is provided and available to anyone with a life-limiting illness with a prognosis of 6 months or less who wishes to focus on pursuing comfort care rather than treatment of disease. Livingston County Hospice provides care to approximately 200 families per year. That being said, if I could please have our hospice team join me at the podium. Over here. We didn't prepare them for this part, I'm sorry. And while we're doing that, I would like to introduce Jill Burley, the Director of Patient Services, to talk more about this honor and what it entails, as well as the results themselves. Livingston County utilizes FOSSI Associates to meet our regulation of having to survey our families. We have now received a great honor this year by scoring in the top 25% of survey results. Agencies named as FOSSI Hospice CAP's top 25 are proven leaders that have excelled in one of the most important measures of an agency's quality program, family satisfaction. Livingston County Hospice has scored in the top 25% of FOSSI's National Patient and Family Satisfaction Database for the overall satisfaction and likelihood of recommending survey questions. In my humble opinion, this is the best award a hospice can receive, as it's a direct reflection of how the families feel about the care you provided for them. This is the second time in 5 years that Livingston County has received this honor, which speaks to the quality of care that hospice provides to our community. I want to also thank the Livingston County Board of Supervisors and leadership in Livingston County that allows us to function as we do. Livingston County allows us to take care of our hospice families the way that we would want our own families to be taken care of. When faced with making difficult decisions in hospice, we often reflect back to our founding principles for the Department of Health. Do the right thing even when nobody is looking. And how would I want my loved ones to be cared for? We as a county are very fortunate to have these principles guiding us. This award is so very special as it truly reflects how our patients and families feel about the care they received. As the saying goes, people may not remember your name or what you look like, but they will remember how you made them feel. I know that my hospice colleagues receive great comfort in knowing that they may have made a difficult time a little bit easier for our hospice families. In reviewing our surveys and what our families said about us, I was overwhelmed by the comments that were made. Allow me to share a few of those with you. And this is especially for all of you and what they say about you. These people were the nicest, kindest, compassionate people I have ever met. The Livingston County Hospice provided wonderful care and support to my father and family. 10-star rating, very caring people. Excellent experience, compassion from start to finish. Our experience was wonderful. The hospice team was kind, prompt, and organized. Everything was done in a timely manner. I was beyond impressed and grateful. This was a rewarding and profound experience. So very grateful for my hospice's caring providers. And I love this one. Was very smooth, sad time. I loved this hospice team. God bless America. Hospice workers helped lead us through a very difficult situation. They were always one step ahead and anticipated our needs. We will be forever grateful. Our nurse and aide were the best. They were both loved by all of our family. We couldn't have done it without them. They went above and beyond for my dad and family. His passing was surprisingly easy. We were told what to expect and even a general timeline. This last comment is truly a great illustration of how hospice can give families an idea of what to expect and that the phases we describe are a normal part of dying. This allows a family to not be scared by what they see, but to see it and know that it's a normal part of the process. Our hospice team is driven by a calling to be there for our families and their loved ones, comforting them and being there for them in their time of need for almost 3 decades now. I am honored to work with such a great group of people who work so well together to meet the needs of their patients and families. Whether that is going out in the middle of the night to help a family in crisis, or just being present with a patient so the family can take a break. It is the check-in calls you make at the end of the day, just before you sign off to make sure they're okay, or the last-minute visit you make to just reassure a family they're doing a good job. It's all of the little things you do that make such a big impact. I believe that is why you are receiving this honor now for the 2nd time. For in Livingston County, your community has spoken. In the words of one of our families, the hospice team I was provided was the absolute best. Could have not asked for better. Thank you.
If you would all please join me in congratulating our hospice team.
On behalf of the board and all the residents of Livingston County, thank you so much for all the comfort you provide. It's a great service. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I wanted to say one last thing. When we invited everyone to come, their biggest concern was, will we have time to see our patients? We have a patient appointment. What time will it be over? So you can tell where their heart really is. Thanks.
We do have some resolutions this afternoon to be considered on the agenda.
Appointing member to the Community Initiatives Council for the term designated, Susan George. Declaring surplus property, District Attorney. Resolution supporting Livingston County Superintendent's request for restored local control regarding COVID-19 mitigation measures in their schools. And resolution in opposition to Senate 7885 as it relates to the membership of the Board of Directors of the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation.
Thank you, Michelle. Is there any discussion on any of these resolutions? Hearing none, I look for a motion in a second to bring this to a vote.
Lester. Davis.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Roll on this, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted.
We also have some resolutions that are going to require a separate roll call vote.
Mrs. Walker, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Department of Social Services. Chances and Changes, Inc. There are 3.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any question or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Office for the Aging. Geneseo, Livingston, Orleans, Wyoming Counties, Chapter New York State ARC, Inc., doing business as Arc Glow, Home and Healthcare Services, Inc., and State University of New York for the College at Oneonta.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any question or discussion on any of these contracts? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Office of Workforce Development: Party Man Catering and Rental, and Bonadillo Group.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Mr. Deming, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Historian. Lucidia Technologies, U.S. Corp.
Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Dunning. Is there any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Awarding bid and authorizing the purchase of one new 2022 Ford F-250 XLT for Livingston County Emergency Management Services. Orleans Ford.
Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Dunning. Is there any questions or concerns on this purchase? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Approving the official undertaking of Public Employees Fidelity Blanket Bond for Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Planning Council.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Dunning. Is there any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Department of Planning: CC Environment and Planning, CPL, Hunt Engineers, Architects, Land Surveyors, and Landscape Architects, DPC, MRB Group, Oswego County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Denny. Is there any questions or concerns on any of these contracts? Hearing none, I'll roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Awarding bid for the Planning Department for Livingston County Water System Leak Detection, Ground Penetrating Radar Systems LLC.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Denny. Any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, I'll roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Mr. Knapp, authorizing transfer of funds, County Administrator and Mental Health.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussions on either of these transfers? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for Livingston County, Vineski and Company.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, I'll roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing a professional services contract for deferred compensation advisory services. Stiefel, Nicholas and Company, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, I'll roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation, Health System Services.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorization to submit a USDA Reconnect application for purposes of expanding broadband infrastructure throughout Livingston County.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions on submitting this application? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority for project management and oversight services.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. I 1786, absent 223, adopted. Amending the 2022 hourly employee salary schedule, planning.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
I 1786, absent 223, adopted.
Still have a public hearing open at this time. I'll ask if there's any members of the public wishing to come forward. Ask if there's any supervisors wishing to speak at this time. Hearing none, I'll consider the hearing closed. We all did get an update from Ian. He's in a meeting right now, but he sent it out, email to everyone as far as his items that he would normally bring forward under other business. Would ask Andrea, you've got any member of your staff, would you like to introduce, make an introduction?
I'm happy to introduce my deputy.
Oh, yes, yeah. Come on up.
Thank you very much. Was not expecting this.
Well,
She was not either, so I will share that with you all. I'm very happy to introduce Chris Secor. Chris comes to us with over 15 years of management experience. Monday was her first day, so I'm very excited for her entry into the county and looking forward to everything that she can help us with. Thank you very much.
welcome.
I'm excited to be here. So.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there any other business to come before the board?
Move to adjourn from Geneseo.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Meeting stands adjourned.
How you doing? Good. More, good. More, good.